Yo, what's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for taking time out of their busy schedule to rock and roll with us for a little bit. We're just going to answer questions in today's video. If you haven't yet, hit that sub button because only subscribers get questions answered. This first one coming in from NYG34 says, do you think the Giants should sign Mike Evans this offseason? They still need a true number one, and he is done with Tampa. Look, Mike Evans is once again putting together a great season. He's got 61 catches for over 1,000 yards, and he's got, once again, double-digit touchdowns. He's a guy, no matter what, if he's on your team, he's going to produce. And I do agree with you that the Giants do need another outside receiver. The only thing that concerns me with Mike Evans is how much longer is he going to be able to do it? He's approaching 30 years old if he's not already 30 years old. And sometimes you see these big, tall, I would say, possession receivers kind of fall off a little bit quicker. And I'm not saying Mike Evans is going to do that. Mike Evans is going to be a Hall of Famer. If he wants to come here and he wants to play on a reasonable salary, I'm not paying him $30 million, yes. But I believe that Mike Evans is going to look for a payday. And I'm going to predict that Mike Evans is going to sign with the Houston Texans in free agency. From Galveston, Texas. Reportedly, he grew up kind of a Texans fan for the limited time that they were a team while he was alive. But I think he's going to go back to Houston. But if he wants to come play for the Giants are interested, I would be a fan of the move. Anytime you can get more playmakers on the outside, it's going to help. You got to have good receivers in this league. And Mike Evans, he is one of the best. What do you think? Should the Giants sign Mike Evans? I don't think he's going back to Tampa Bay. We talked about it earlier in the season. The report was that Mike Evans, if a contract extension did not come to fruition prior to the season starting, he was not going to negotiate with them in the offseason, and he's going to move on. What do you think? Should the Giants sign Mike Evans? Type S for sign, type P for pass. Another 1,000-yard season. I think that's 10 in a row for the former Texas A&M Aggie. Yuli says, if we don't take a QB in the first 3 rounds, do we go Joe Milton in the 4th and the 5th? My opinion on taking quarterbacks in the 4th and 5th round is this. I don't want to draft quarterbacks that aren't first or second rounders. That's just my opinion. Because if you're going to draft a quarterback, you need that. How do I want to illustrate this point? I'm only drafting quarterbacks I think that can win you a Super Bowl. That's what I'm trying to say. And I don't think Joe Milton can win you a Super Bowl. Could be wrong, might prove me wrong in a couple of years. But if you thought he was that good, why not draft him in the first round? I know there's other quarterbacks. You'll get Russell Wilson. You'll get Dak Prescott. You'll get Jalen Hurts in the 2nd round. Shoot, Brock Purdy, last pick of the 7th round. In my opinion, I'm only drafting a quarterback in the 1st or 2nd round. That's just where I rock and roll with that. Not the biggest Joe Milton fan. Extremely athletic, extremely big arm. Didn't love what he put on tape this year for Tennessee, in my opinion. Saquon Barkley is him, says, is it possible to trade for Cooper Kupp? Always possible, right? Yeah, technically possible, but I don't know if I'm doing that. You got to pay him a whole lot of money. He's aging, and he's dealt with injuries now for 2 years in a row. Damn good player. Getting close to 30 years old, if he's not already 30 years old. I would say, no, I would not do it, but yes, it is absolutely possible. I wouldn't do it, though. I wouldn't do it. Sloppy Top says, going into next year, we don't draft a QB. I know you were vocal about having another QB on the roster. Who would you sign? It's a good question, my man. I'm drafting a quarterback, though. That's just what I'm doing. If they don't draft a QB, you're in a sticky situation because, let me just look at it real quick. 2024 NFL free agents at the quarterback position. Here we go. You got guys like Kirk Cousins. You're not signing Kirk Cousins. I'm not overpaying for Ryan Tannehill. How about Jacoby Brissett? Jacoby Brissett is a little bit of a backup if you don't draft a quarterback. Wouldn't mind that. Also, I wouldn't mind having Jameis Winston on this team, man. There's something I like about Jameis Winston. I like a backup quarterback that can come in and just light it up. May throw 25 touchdowns, may throw 25 picks, but I like myself some Jameis Winston. I think Gardner Minshew is going to be too expensive. I don't want Josh Dobbs. I wouldn't mind signing Tyler Huntley. I think he's a really good backup, but I think he's going to command top dollar. I'm looking at a guy like Jacoby Brissett, Jameis Winston. I like those two guys. We'll get to more questions coming up, but first, I got to tell you about our proud sponsor, Game Time, the number one way to buy tickets. Download the Game Time app. Just go into the App Store, type in Game Time, download it. The app looks like it does at the bottom. I believe that's the bottom right of the screen. The big G right there. Just use promo code GIANTSCHAT, and you're going to get $20 off. You get the best seats for the lowest prices guaranteed. And as the event gets closer, the prices will drop. My favorite feature, though, is when you're debating on which seats to buy when the prices are listed, when you click on different seats, it gives you the different views from your seat of the arena, the stage, or the stadium. It's not just Giants games, NFL, NBA, college football, college basketball. You can go to concerts. You can go to theater events and more. Download the Game Time app. Use the promo code GIANTSCHAT, and you're going to save $20 off. I've used Game Time a whole bunch. Bought a couple of tickets this summer to some concerts, and I felt good about myself because I know I saved some money. Download the app. Use the promo code GIANTSCHAT. Patrick Clark coming in with a question. What's up, Brody? Should we trade down and add picks and draft Jayden Daniels or further down? So right now the Giants are projected to pick number 7. In the mock draft we did last week that came from Dane Brugler, the number 1 draft guy in the world, in my opinion, he had Jayden Daniels going number 7. I'm not so sure how far you can trade down if you want Daniels. And I honestly think throughout the draft process, Daniels' stock is going to rise. I think he's going to test really well. I think people are going to love watching him throw on air. And I think that he's a guy that people are going to like talking to, and they like his makeup and stuff like that. I don't think you can trade too far down to select him. So should we? If the goal is to draft Jayden Daniels, I don't know how far you're trading down. You might just have to take him at the pick you're sitting at. Just my opinion. Maya's World. What's up, Marshall Green and also Patrick Seaman? Do you guys see the New York Giants going to be in the playoffs this year? I always got to read Maya's World's questions like that. No, I don't. The Packers beating the Chiefs Monday night really hurt. Really hurt. And the Jets, they lost to the Falcons. That also hurt. But I'll say this. Going to beat the Packers on Monday Night Football. We're going to be talking playoff picture that following Monday, or that following Tuesday. Let's see what they do against the Packers Monday night. Rosenbear, what up, brother? I'm thinking offseason, Marsh. Saquon loves the Giants because they drafted him, but I don't know if he'll play on a franchise. Do you think he'll force a trade? No. I think Saquon Barkley would play on a franchise tag. He did it this year pretty much. Came back and didn't miss a practice. Didn't miss anything. Saquon loves the Giants. I think he loves being a Giant and what being a Giant means, especially post-career. Well, guys like Victor Cruz. Well, guys like Michael Strahan. Well, guys that were once a Giant, always a Giant. I think they're going to franchise tag him. That's what I would do. And I know it stinks, but think about it like this. Made $11 million this year. Going to make another $12 million this upcoming year. I'll take $23 million over 2 years for the running back position, all fully guaranteed. I said it in a video last week. He's getting closer to 30 years old. It's true. He'll be 27 in February, I believe. I'm not giving a 27-year-old running back who has injury issues every single year a guaranteed long-term deal. That's not how I'm operating a franchise. I would franchise tag him this year. I know it's going to upset some people. I'd do it again next year because this year isn't technically not the franchise tag. They could do it 2 more times. Could it bring some dysfunction and some hurt feelings to your team? Absolutely. But it's best for the Giants to do so. I truly do believe that. Patrick Clark, who do you think will be our starting QB at this time next year? That's a great question. I'm hoping it's Jayden Daniels. But I think it's going to be Daniel Jones. If you haven't yet, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Free Giants content every single day. Hit that sub button and turn those notifications on so you never miss a video.